Hello and welcome viewers, you're watching CVR English channel and this is your host Sandeepa Smanni. Well, for 8 weeks beginning March 15th, a 3-member panel of mediators will attempt to arrive at a permanent solution to the decades-old Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid land dispute in Ayodhya. Well, to talk in this regard, we have Advocate Mr. Sreedhar with us. Well, he will talk about his views in regard to the Ayodhya dispute case. Well, sir, welcome to our show. We are happy to have you here today with us. Well, so to begin with, don't you think it's a long way in Ayodhya dispute case, and now that Supreme Court has come up with mediation in this row, so where Supreme Court has to pass its judgment, it has suggested for mediation. How far do you think it's okay?
So we have to analyze this issue from two angles. Supreme Court has done it with lots of care and caution, and it has utilized its wisdom to the best of its ability. Because such type of an issue which has got sentiments involved and emotions are at a flared up stage, we have to go in for a settlement. Mediation, we shouldn't think that it is going to have a permanent solution. It's a process for permanent solution. After all, it is the apex court which will decide an appeal which has arisen from Allahabad High Court. Now we have to see the entire gamut of the issue. 3 parties are raising a private dispute over the property. I don't know how the political parties got involved. That is a different issue. We are not concerned with that. When we see from that perspective, 3 persons have raised a title suit, and there is a question of limitation which may come in their way. And in the process, the Allahabad High Court, while deciding it as a suit, and after taking the evidence of experts concerned and other persons involved, it came to a conclusion. Instead of deciding it as a title dispute, it has partitioned the property in between 3 parties.
Yes.
What is a partition? Partition is only by succession. So one should be, suppose it is between a Sunni Waqf Board is also a party, and we have Hindu Mahasabha and Nirmohi Akhara. So how there will be a partition of a property in between persons who are dialectically opposite in views. Now the moot question which remains to be answered is, historically, whether Mir Baqi has demolished the existing structure which is the birthplace of Rama, or the structure never existed. Now the apex court has appointed 3 persons as mediators. We salute the wisdom of the apex court. But as a person who is into spiritual issues, Supreme Court cannot decide this issue unless there is a spiritual angle which comes into play, unless the spiritualists shall establish from the existing scriptures of Ramayana that Rama was born there. Rama must have been born at the banks of Sarayu. Ayodhya means impregnable. That is from the Paramapadha. The Amshavatara of Narayana comes down to the Sarayu, which is Viraja. Viraja is at Vaikuntha, Sarayu is here. Dasharatha, being his father, who ruled Ayodhya for 60,000 years, has done penance for the sake of Amshabhuta for elimination. Whatever is, it is the prayer of the Devatas. So Rama is not a mythical character. What people are trying to project is Rama, whether exists or not, they doesn't want to take it into account, because they are constructing Indian history only from 5,000 years back, which is given by the British. No, Rama existed aeons of ages back. That is what is confirmed by NASA. So in that perspective, if the Supreme Court or the mediators are open to take the views of various personalities, then the question becomes easier. Or else, it will result, if you are viewing it from historical perspective, the mediation is going to fail. It has to be looked only from scriptural, spiritual point of view, not from political considerations.
So many political leaders are also, many of them are being positive with the mediation that is taking place. But will there be any chance to change the panel mediators?
No, it's not the question of changing it is Asauddin Owaisi has raised a question and he also tried to interpret upon section 89 of CPC, read with other provisions pertaining to High Court, powers of High Court for mediation. But when the apex court is seized of the matter, one must go into the constitutional scheme under Article 142 of the Constitution. There are ample power for the apex court to mould the relief. That is what it has done in many in matters where marriages were irretrievably broken. That is not a ground for granting divorce. But apex court exercised that power, invoking Article 142. In many cases, in cases pertaining to in Delhi, there was a Noida case where the builders, the Supreme Court bypassed everybody and molded a relief by giving some benefit to the persons who have purchased the flats. So that is a constitutional power. The objection, if at all, coming from Avaisi and others is with regard to alleged statement of Ravi Shankar ji, is that he said that if they are not going to remove the mask, it is going to result in serial execution. And again, Asauddin Avaisi says that they don't have any objection. So you be clear, if you are not interested with him, you want to play politics, you approach through your Sunni Waqf board and impress upon them and file an objection petition at the threshold itself. Instead of clouding the wisdom of the mediators at a later stage and taking a political dimension. And according to my view, this can be solved. Maybe he is right in a way. This solution for this problem can be achieved if we take into confidence our own Chief Minister Chandrasekhar Rao Garu and the Asauddin Owaisi to guide, because Asauddin has a sway over the Muslim population as on today.
Yes.
Earlier, Sahabuddin was a great leader from Islamic community. Now Asauddin is a very learned man, is a very astute parliamentarian, and he has got good friendship with our Chief Minister. So if the committee wants to take the assistance, now our Chandrasekhar Rao, being a Federal Front chairman, can play a vital role. Apart from politics, he is a very good astute. He can speak very beautiful poetic Urdu also. Then it will have some sense. And you have to eliminate basically politicians, but exception to the rule is the committee has to take the opinion for convincing. If you are going to shift the mask, then what is the solution? We have seen so many personalities from BJP party. They are giving an impression as if the mediation is going to result whereby the mask will be shifted. That should not be a statement to be made at this juncture, because that is not at all mediation. Mediation is a charged atmosphere being diffused by the activity of the mediators to come to a just and win situation for all the parties. Whereby they sign a consent order which will form part of the final judgment. Settlement arrived amongst the parties will be taken to a logical end, becomes a consent order. There is a distinction. If a judgment comes, it can be appealable or reviewable. Once it is a consent order. So lots of efforts the mediators has to do, and we hope Justice Abraham Khalifullah is also there on the board, and Mr. Sriram Panchu, himself being a very great mediator, is into commercial mediations and even geographical mediations he has done. But this is of a different order, where we cannot impose, because unless the mediators themselves are well abreast with the scriptural understanding, I don't think they can see the point of view. Maybe it will act as a catalyst for further settlement. I think so.
Okay. So, since the Supreme Court has called it a matter of faith, will the Muslim side respect Hindu sentiment as well? Will the board come under any kind of pressure or something?
No, the board will not come under pressure, because they have also accepted for mediation. So they are also interested for settlement. But probably it is all a diplomatic way of saying, having accepted to the apex court judgment. Suppose tomorrow mediators come to a conclusion, and it is a secret meeting, media is not supposed to enter. That is of course, the mediation shall be confidential. So that there is eliminating the media is a wise decision of the Supreme Court. But tomorrow, the chairman of the mediation committee, Khalifullah ji, convinces the Muslim brethren that the mask has to be shifted because of historical reasons, and a place can be allotted elsewhere by providing financial assistance. then will the Muslim community believe Khalifullah ji? It's a debatable issue. Who is the party for dispute here? Whether this Muslim community or the three persons who are claiming as a private litigation. This has assumed a national importance because of the reasons best known to the political parties. Somebody wants it to be constructed. But whether Ram is has become so devalued that all these people can talk about Ram without knowing who wrote Ramayana, Kimaikam Devate Loke, Kim Vyapta Parayanam. Who is that person who has got 16 Kala Vibhutis? Narada, Valmiki asked a question to Narada, and it is because of the Upadesha of Brahma to Narada, the Vedam itself has become Ramayana. So Rama is not a mythical character as being projected by the sophisticated scholars who are available. He existed, and we need to reconstruct our history in consonance with the Vedic wisdom. Unless that action is done, then historically if you compare, then one small line is there and big line is there, then the justice will come. That is the convincing what the mediators have to do to the Muslim communities. Without that vital input comes to the fore, unless it comes to the fore, how there will be solution? Then it will be only viewed as a property dispute. And rightly, Chief Justice of India has pointed out that the feelings, faith and healing, my lords has become a spiritual healer now, because the apex court wants to do healing. That means it is a very loaded statement. Of course, it is an obiter dicta. While dictating an order, any statements made by the bench should not be taken in a serious note. What is in the order has to be looked into. Since the objection has come from Mr. Awaisi, the Muslim community should, if he is representing Muslims, the Muslim community should be very clear whether they want Ravi Shankar or not. Once he proceeds, they are stopped from questioning him.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
So, but sir, without acceptance, do you think it will be fair to bring in the settlement?
No, it's not question of, it is the Supreme Court in its best wisdom has appointed Ravi Shankar. So either you, see, error is human, even the apex court may err. So if there is a logic, just because he made a statement, whether that is a criteria to attack him is the question. You, at one stage you say that mediation, we accept the decision of the apex court mediator is a welcome measure. At the same time you are pointing out, and you are again sophisticatedly giving an impression as if Ravi Shankar is going to take a different dimension. There is head of the panel is none other than a judge of the apex court and another astute scholar, legal scholar in mediation. So it's not so easy to impress or divert the attention. You see, even Ravi Shankar, he's a learned guru. Why he will go all the way to give a negative impression or skate his reputation? He will not do. He will not do. That is the question of faith. If Mr. Owaisi has raised that point, he should be clear. He should not play politics. Either yes or no. If he is there, if he is having any objection, ask the Sunni board, which is under your control. Go and represent. You don't say that I am not interested. Tomorrow, suppose a decision is there, it is Owaisi and his brother are the first person to raise the voice. So be clear. Don't give any impression. At the same time, BJP leaders shall refrain. Subramanya Swami was making a statement. I had an opportunity to see. What he says is, mosque never existed there. Even if mosque was there, it is not of, no prayer can be done. Prayer can be done anywhere. It is nothing but provoking. Now you ask for mediation. A matter is within the purview and sub judice before the apex court. And if such type of statement will definitely provoke. It will compel Mr. Owaisi to make a statement. So this is nothing but a political gamut and game, which will have an effect of bringing even the apex court into the public domain, and it will put the dignity of apex court at risk. That is the reason, as a counsel, as an advocate, I am just cautioning.
And also, sir, as you said, this case is not only about the property, but it involves the feelings of two communities.
It's not the question of feelings, it's also a question of deep-rooted, ingrained faith. And how do you define faith? Faith is, which cannot be perceived. I'll give you a small example as to what a faith is. Suppose there was a lake-like thing. There was a stone. Everybody was just putting their feet on the stone and going away. One person saw there is a divinity in it and kept it aside and he was praying. One day that deity came in his, swapna or in his dream and said, you must construct a temple for me. Then this man questioned in his dream only, everybody were just pouncing on you and you did not raise an objection. I was the person who put you there. Then the deity is answering, those people did not have faith on me. You had faith on me. So it is a casted duty upon you to save me.
Yes, sir.
Rama or whoever, it is a Saulabhya Murthy. See, the persons who are in that faith are duty bound.
So we have a call, we have a phone line where we have Professor Anwar Khan online. Hello, sir, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Anwar, can you hear me? Well, there's some kind of technical glitch, but we'll follow up. But so as you said, it is the matter of deep faith among two communities. Will there be acceptance? Like, who are the people who are supposed to accept once the judgment, once the discussions or once the decisions is made by the panel persons? Who are the final decision makers?
Decision makers is only the three disputants.
Okay.
They are the persons who came, they were fighting. All other persons have got no claim over it. It is only a political ploy which has been raised at whatever may be the reasons, because somebody want their cause to be vociferously presented. Political parties naturally see a power game in it. So it's a beautiful polarizing game in between both the parties. And including Congress, everybody would like to take advantage of the situation, and in the process they are degrading the name of Rama and hitting upon the Hindu faith. These people are not the judges of Rama. There are scriptural understanding and the saints and seers who have worshipped Rama, and they are the real persons who worship that legacy. It is not just because BJP talks about Rama, entire Hindus are with BJP. Or Muslims say that Babri Masjid should be there or here. It doesn't mean that entire Muslims are with Avasi. It's not that. That is too omnibus way of understanding. We have to be very critical and analytical as to see what is the real issue. Is it a spiritual issue, or whether it is a scriptural issue? Whether really Ram existed or not is the question. NASA has confirmed with regard to Rama Setu. It is man-made. Then who constructed? The legend shows, the text shows that Rama went to Sri Lanka. Then Rama existed. Then the question what remains is where he was born. According to Ramayana, he was born at the banks of Sarayu. That is Ayodhya, present Allahabad. Without looking into that, how you will start to settle a dispute which is starting from the time frame of Mir Baki and demolition done by the Bajrang Dal or some other persons. So we need to go very rigorous back and reconstruct the history. Then only the truth will come out. That for which there is a power for the apex court or any court for that matter to constitute a committee of experts. Now, having delegated that work to the present mediators, in the order itself there shall be scope for them to consult the experts for negotiating, or else again it will be a ground for challenge. So that way, in a comprehensive methodology,
So it has to look over
overall picture, or else it will be very partisan. Like suppose a person is blindfolded and there is an elephant. Somebody will touch the tail and say this is elephant. Somebody will hold the trunk and say it is elephant. Somebody will take some other facet of the elephant and say this is elephant. That chances cannot be done with Rama anymore.
Okay.
Enough is enough. Within this 2 months, the dispute has to be settled.
Okay, sir, we'll get back to you. It's time to take a short break in CVR English channel. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hello, English. CVR English. Welcome to CVR English. Well, Muslim side. Hello and welcome, viewers.
అవతలి 3
Hello and welcome, viewers. Hello and welcome, viewers. You're watching CVR English.
One,
Sir,
two,
మీకు
three, four.
వినిపిస్తుందా సార్?
Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hello and welcome, viewers. You're watching CVR English. Hello and welcome, viewers. Hello. IAF jet crashes. Pilot ejects safely from warplane. Well, hello and welcome, viewers. Hello, sir. మీకు వినిపిస్తుందా సార్? Sir, can you hear me? They're trying to connect a call, sir. There's some kind of technical issue. Hello and welcome, viewers. You're watching CVR English.
హలో
మీకు వినిపిస్తుందా సార్? హలో మిస్టర్ నాగార్జున గారు, మీకు వినిపిస్తుందా?
ఓకే 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 సార్
Welcome back. Well, we are in conversation with Advocate Sreedhar. Well, sir, another question where after so many years of Ayodhya dispute case, well, do you think this mediation will serve its purpose, or will it start a new phase of this case?
No. It will definitely arrive at a solution because all the three parties have consented to be part of mediation. So where is the dispute? Already all the three parties knows, they pretty well know their strengths and weaknesses, except for a sporadic statement made regard to Mr. Ravi Shankar. Otherwise, entire nation welcomed, all the politicians welcomed. So it's only the one distinction has to be drawn. The view of a politician is different from that of the actual people's opinion. Now we are under an impression that it is only the politicians who can articulate the people's opinion. It's not so. So India has to transform itself from the impact what the politicians are trying to create and create their own image structure whereby they influence the voters and the nation's economy or whatever it is. So the India has to rise to the occasion. They have got so many social media networks where the real issue has to be tackled.
Sharing your valuable information and your view on Ayodhya dispute case. Well, thank you, sir. It was really encouraging and really immense knowledge that I have acquired, and also I'm sure my viewers also enjoyed this discussion with you. Well, that was in conversation with Advocate Sreedhar in regard to Ayodhya land dispute case. Well, thank you for joining us. Keep watching CVR English channel. This is Sandeepa Smanni signing off.